Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're digging into, well, a really huge shift. We're talking about the US dollar entering this new digital age, and it's fundamentally changing global finance. We're looking at what some are calling the great convergence, how traditional finance is starting to merge with public blockchains, specifically Ethereum, and it's all being driven by these new institutional stablecoins.
Exactly. And our goal here is to pull out the key insights from your sources. We want to unpack how these new regulations and the big players involved are turning Ethereum into this critical global financial ledger. And importantly, what it means for you.
Right. And the real starting gun for all this seems to have been back on July 18th, 2025. That's when the Genius Act passed. It sounds like it wasn't just another regulation.
Oh, not at all. It was absolutely pivotal. And the reason it's such a game changer is that it finally provides a clear federal framework for what they call payment stablecoins. It defines them very specifically. Redeemable on demand, needs 1.1 backing with high-quality liquid assets.
Okay, so proper reserves?
Proper reserves, yeah. And critically, no rehypothecation. So the banks can't lend out those reserves, and no yield paid directly to holders from the reserves. Plus, it made it crystal clear these compliant stablecoins, they're not securities or commodities.
Ah, so that removed a massive cloud of uncertainty.
Huge.
Yeah.
Years of it. And this clarity, well, it really bolsters the U.S. dollar's role globally. It's attracting a ton of stablecoin activity back to the U.S. and, interestingly, driving demand for U.S. government debt, too.
Okay, so the rules are clearer now. But who's actually building these digital dollars? It gets really interesting here, doesn't it? I'm guessing it's not just the crypto startups anymore.
Definitely not. You're seeing the big traditional finance players stepping in. Think JP Morgan. They've got their JPMD deposit token, basically a digital version of a bank deposit running on a public Ethereum layer 2, like Base.
Wow, okay. JPM on a public chain.
Yeah. And there's also talk of a consortium, JPM, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo. They're exploring joint projects. And you've even got European banks like Sogen pushing forward with regulated digital euros and dollars on various blockchains.
So the banks are in, but it feels like this goes beyond just banks, right? What about tech companies, fintech?
Absolutely. You've got PayPal with PYUSD, obviously leveraging their enormous user base. They're even offering like a 4% reward on holdings, which is interesting. Then there's Visa. They're positioning themselves cleverly as the infrastructure layer, not issuing their own coin.
The rails, not the train.
Exactly. And Stripe is focusing more on the developer side, programmable commerce, with their USDB. And of course, the crypto incumbents aren't standing still. Circle with USDC, emphasizing regulation, and even Tether's launched a new compliant version, US80.
So it's a mix of old and new players. What's their edge then? Is it just the tech?
Well, the tech matters. But I think the real advantage for many of these big players is distribution. They have massive existing customer bases and can integrate these new digital dollars seamlessly into payment systems people already use. That's huge. Which kind of brings us to Ethereum itself. Why Ethereum? Why is it becoming the default settlement layer for all this activity?
Yeah, good question.
Well, a few key reasons. First, its security model, proof of stake, is seen as very robust and energy efficient now. Second, network effects, just, sheer gravity. Most stablecoin value already lives on Ethereum or its L2s.
Right, the liquidity is there.
Exactly. And third, composability.
Yeah.
This idea of money Legos, different financial applications plugging into each other easily, DeFi protocols interacting with these stablecoins, that's a powerful feature.
Okay, money Legos. I like that. It paints a picture, but the perennial question with Ethereum.scale, can it actually handle the transaction volume if all these giants really pile in?
That's the critical role of layer 2s, or L2s. These scaling solutions, like Base, which we mentioned JPM uses, they handle transactions off the main chain, making things much faster and cheaper, but they still inherit the core security from Ethereum's layer 1.
So L2s are essential for this to work at scale.
Absolutely essential for mass adoption. And you also need efficient ways to swap between all these different digital dollars, right? That's where decentralized exchanges, the DAGXs like Curve or Uniswap v3 come in. They act like the crucial foreign exchange market for this new digital dollar ecosystem.
Got it. So L2s handle the volume, DXs handle the swaps. Okay, let's switch gears slightly. What does all this, there's the massive flow of institutional dollars, mean for ETH, Ethereum's actual native token?
Right. This is where it gets really interesting for ETH itself. There's a direct economic link now through something called EIP 1559. Basically, a part of every transaction fee paid in ETH gets permanently destroyed or burned.
Okay, so more transactions, more ETH burned.
Precisely. So the more these stablecoins are used on Ethereum and its L2s, the more ETH is removed from circulation. You can almost think of it as a sort of global dollar velocity tax. It reframes ETH away from just speculation.
So less ultrasound money and more?
Yeah.
What, digital oil?
Yeah, the digital oil or global settlement gas are good analogies. It becomes this consumable commodity that's essential to power the global digital dollar economy. It's a pretty significant narrative shift for ETH's investment case.
From speculative asset to essential utility.
Exactly. The bull case becomes ETH's value is increasingly tied to the sheer amount of economic value, potentially trillions of dollars in stablecoins and other assets that it's securing on-chain. Now, there's a bear case, sure, that it's just a functional gas token, but its role in securing the network via staking becomes paramount. Its value, in theory, should scale with the value it's protecting.
So wrapping this up, we're seeing this great convergence. It's creating a kind of hybrid financial system. You've got the trust of the big institutions blending with the efficiency and transparency of public blockchains like Ethereum.
That's a good way to put it.
And ETH's own story is changing fundamentally. It's becoming valued for its utility, its security role in this massive new architecture.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about this future, what stands out most to you? How do you think you'll navigate a financial world where, well, every dollar might leave a digital trail, and where the underlying rails are open, transparent, secured by code? Something to think about.